Hello everyone and welcome to Sea of Thieves, and in this video we're going to be covering the new ocean crawler enemies and the various new abilities that they have and ways you can counter them so you're not just wasting all your bullets and you're not just running at things stabbing them while your health erodes away and you waste all the nanas. So as you go through these tall tales and get to the open world, you'll notice that there's going to be a bunch of new enemies, like I said just prior. The main ones that you'll see being in three varieties. In the ocean crawler variety, you have the blue eels, you have the green clams, and you have the red crabs. Now, the blue eels has an easier method to counter other than just staying back and shooting them so you don't burn all of your ammo. But when you'll notice that they have that little weird field about them, if you touch them in any manner with a sword, you'll be stun locked. Well, yeah, that'll happen, and anyone in your near vicinity will chain and they'll get stunned. Now, to avoid the stunning, you'll want to pull out a pistol or a shotgun, something ranged, and just shoot them once. That will, well, hopefully, if it works right, actually, because there's so many of them in here, they can generate fields for each other. Now, if you see one, you can shoot it, and then that brings down the field, and then you're free to whack it. Now, another good tip for these, if there is one in an incredible range and you see it charging a shot, you can totally shoot that shot out of midair. It is totally possible and not at all hard because those shots actually travel pretty slowly. Now, you might think you need to shoot the ball itself coming from the little eel living in his chest, but you really don't. When you see it charging, you just need to shoot him once. That'll drop any of the electric fields, and then you are free to stab. Pretty easy. It makes you use less ammo if you're just to straight up shoot them. Now, the clams here are a tricky one because they have a few attacks, and as you just saw, he did his little charge attack, which if you want to have the real counter to these guys, you're going to want to bait them with the charge attack for them and to run into something, because after they do that, they'll kind of either they'll do that where they're going to be out of stamina, or they're going to run into something, fall over, and then you're going to be free to whack at them without them making any poison. Now, that was a fluke just because there's more than one. Now, there is one more attack he has, and you just saw that one, where he digs underground. You're going to want to be careful not to step on where he was, because that will, of course, trigger his attack. But also, what you want to do is just keep moving, because if you see multiple of them go underground, that means they'll kind of appear randomly. Now, so pretty much with this one, you just want to bait the charge attack, get him to run into something, and that will keep them from spewing the muck out in front of the... Oh, yep. You watch them go under, you wait to see the cracking in the ground, and you just wait for them to pop out of their own doing. Now, typically with these, it's generally just once they attack, you avoid the attacks, and then you just go in and do the slicing, because if you just run at these mollusks and just slice them in the regular, it will be more difficult. Now, the last enemy to go against is the red crabs. Now, these enemies are essentially just the tanks. They have super high health, and they can do a lot of damage. But they are also a support character, because as you just saw, that one curled up and shielded this one. Now, it is very bullet and sword resistant. It tanks a lot of damage. So instead of going after that one that's still around, head for the red one that is curled up, hunkered down, and doing the shield, and you're going to want to slice that and get it off. Now, of course, for generally dealing with these crabs, it's the same sort of thing. You wait to see them do that backwards movement, you bait it, and after they slam, you get in as many sword strikes as you can. But they can also do damage to each other, so if you have a bunch of these red crabs in your way, it's not a bad idea just to bunch them up and go for it. Now, I'm giving these tips just because in the tall tales, while you encounter these, you'll have tridents. In the open world, these things can spawn, and you will not be able to find them. So I made this guide for you to understand how to better fight them and make it a little bit easier for yourself going through these tall tales. As experience, it took a little bit longer to learn these things than I would have liked to. So, my name is Matt Scorpion, and I will see you in the next one.